In the previous episode of the Satric series on factor investing, we encouraged clients to understand their factor exposures in their current existing portfolios. In this episode, we move on to the next logical step, which is actually doing something about these factor exposures. This concept is known as portfolio completion. As the phrase suggests, portfolio completion involves either adding or reducing specific exposures in your portfolio in order to fill a gap and target a specific strategy. This typically only involves a minor allocation to your portfolio, but is vitally essential to achieve your clients' needs. To explore this further, let's take an example of an equity value manager. After examining the portfolio's factor exposures relative to the benchmark, we find a significant underweight in the profitability factor exposure. Given that most factors are not free from exposure to other factors, it is likely that when targeting a specific strategy, undesired factors tend to creep in. And while attempting to disentangle these factors is not always realistic, it often just makes sense to neutralize them. This should ensure that the portfolio achieves enhanced purity in its targeted factor exposures, while mitigating any portfolio risks through undiversified or unintended factor exposures. As you can see from my example, when targeting a value strategy, an inadvertent but significant underexposure in profitability is realized. With profitability having proved to be one of the most consistently strong signals in South Africa, being meaningfully underexposed to it may compromise the premium of a targeted value strategy. As such, the objective is to neutralize profitability exposure by adding a small 20% allocation to quality, while taking care not to overdilute the intended value exposure. As you can see in our example, this goal was achieved. The key lies in identifying an optimal balance between diluting the targeted factor exposures and enhancing the portfolio diversification of the fund. This trade-off occurs due to the completion portfolio typically being uncorrelated to the existing portfolio. Another benefit of employing a completion portfolio is that along with greater portfolio diversification, investors can leave their active managers to their own devices without constraining their process.